The following is a production of Florida State University's Office of University Communications. Coming up on FSU Headlines, Florida State University welcomes the freshman class of 2018 to campus. Twisters and climate change. A Florida State researcher explores the connection. And Florida State football is back. We'll see how the Seminoles kicked off their title defense. Stay tuned for these stories and much, much more. FSU Headlines starts now. Hello and welcome to another edition of FSU Headlines, coming to you from the William Johnston Building here at Florida State University. I'm Dennis Schnitker. A new school year means more than 6,000 new students are on the Florida State campus. And what a better way to offer a warm welcome than at the new Student Convocation. FSU Headlines reporter Kate Mueller joins us now with more. Kate?
Thanks, Dennis. For these incoming freshmen, college life has officially begun, and the new Student Convocation marks just the beginning of their Florida State career. First-year students fill the Civic Center on the eve of the new semester, where they receive an FSU pin, recite the Seminole Creed, and sing the alma mater, officially becoming members of the Florida State family. A trio of upperclassmen pass the torch to 3 new students, a symbolic tradition that emphasizes each class's duty to carry on Florida State's values of viris, artes, and mores, or in English, strength, skill, and character. And much like a commencement speaker, convocation speaker and professor Terry Coonan offered words of encouragement to the new students.
There are a host of opportunities waiting for you here at FSU. Join our FSU community for great scholarship and also for great service opportunities. Let me be among the first of many people this week to welcome you to our community, but also even more importantly to our FSU story. Become a part of that story in the coming years that you are here with us.
After the formalities of convocation, it's time to relax and have some fun.
Welcome to the President's House. Enjoy. Thank you.
Interim President Garnet Stokes welcomes the class of 2018 to Florida State's annual Backyard Barbecue. The students have the opportunity to meet Stokes, as well as other members of the FSU family, including academic deans and other university administrators. Each incoming freshman wears a t-shirt that represents their field of study, an easy way for students to break the ice before classes start.
It's really nice to be able to get to know people for the first day of classes, because FSU is a really big campus and it makes me feel a little bit bigger in such a big place.
Makes me notice that it's a large class. They're very family oriented, and I know that everybody's welcome to the best university in Florida.
This was the 5th year the barbecue was held at the President's House. Class of 2018, welcome to Florida State. Dennis, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kate. There were 42 incoming freshmen this year who got an introduction to Florida State before that convocation ceremony. As FSU Headlines reporter Mark Vaughn explains, these freshmen got a jump start on college as part of the Service Leadership Seminar.
A group of 42 incoming freshmen arrived a week early to Florida State to participate in the university's Service Leadership Seminar. The students share in a week of community service projects before ever setting foot in a college classroom.
There you go. Service Leadership Seminar is a week-long program the week before classes start for 42 first-year students. We mix up and do service throughout the week, but we also have workshops on leadership and identity. And so throughout the week, students are exploring who they are, how they work in groups, and how leadership is for the community and for other people.
These freshmen give up that coveted last week of summer to learn about how to be even better leaders, all while getting involved at FSU and in the Tallahassee community. They are learning to be a part of the change that they want to see.
Everyone can be a leader. Everyone should have leadership skills, because you never know when you will be thrust into a leadership position. We live in this community and we'll be going to school in this community, and the community should be at its best at all times, and I think it's up to us to help keep the community at a higher level and help everyone in need in our community.
Carlos and the other students spent some time at the second harvest of the Big Bend, where they organize food items and lend a helping hand wherever they're needed.
First, they're learning about the issue of hunger. So first, they're understanding why Second Harvest is needed in our community, so what hunger is. But today, they are going to be sorting food. They're going to be checking out and helping in the freezer with different meats. They're also helping with the backpack program here at Second Harvest for our children in our community.
Trading in a little extra time at the pool to sort food and pack backpacks isn't just about the physical work. It's about the life lessons they're learning and how those lessons will benefit them throughout their time at Florida State and beyond.
It's really rewarding, and you're learning so much and you're meeting so many people. You don't have to make a big impact to make a change. Like, you're making a change here right now. It's small or big, it's still a change, and you're still making a positive impact into somebody's life.
The Service Leadership Seminar class also spends time getting to know one another. Along with leadership exercises and service trips, they participate in workshops where upperclassmen and faculty members talk with them about a wide range of topics to help them improve their collegiate experience. For FSU Headlines, I'm Mark Vaughn.
And by the way, this year's incoming freshman class happens to be one of Florida State University's best. With an overall GPA of 4.0, this year's incoming freshmen are some of the brightest students in the university's history. Florida State University's incoming class of 2018 scored an average SAT score of 1864, and the average ACT is at 28. This year's class of newcomers represents every county in Florida, all 50 states, and even 140 different countries. This class also includes the university's inaugural Presidential Scholars. The merit-based scholarship program provides recipients with nearly $5,000 annually. Presidential Scholars at Florida State also receive additional funding for educational enrichment, including study abroad, research and creative projects, and internships, among other opportunities.
I think the academics are great, but what really makes the university stand out is the co-curriculars, the ability to study abroad, do global scholars, do lots of things that enhance the learning outside of the classroom and make it a really fulfilled college experience.
One thing that got me really excited was the preeminence status of the university. Like, I really would like to be part of what pushes the university up towards the top. I've always despised how all my friends going to UF are like, oh, you're going to FSU, it's kind of worst academic school. And I don't think that's going to be the case here pretty shortly. So I'm excited about that, and this freshman class, from what I've heard, is the best. So it's great to be part of that, yeah.
And thanks to the overall quality of our freshman classes, FSU is increasing its retention and graduation rates. For instance, last fall, 92% of students who began their freshman year in 2012 returned for their sophomore year. Well, coming up next on FSU Headlines is climate change creating more destructive tornadoes. A Florida State University researcher is searching for those answers.
We're seeing that we're actually fewer days in which tornadoes occur. So that means when tornadoes do form, we're seeing them come in bunches.
We'll untwist the data when FSU Headlines continues in a moment.
A spirit roams these parts. A spirit of respect, competition, and academic greatness. Some call our spirit myth. Others call it legend. We call it Florida State University.
When you purchase a Florida State University license plate, you're supporting students, like me. Tag, you're in.
Welcome back to FSU Headlines. I'm Dennis Schnitker, broadcasting from the beautiful William Johnston building on the Florida State University campus. Florida State is one of the nation's top research institutions, so it's home to more than just undergraduate students. Each year, Florida State welcomes a large group of advanced degree seekers to campus.
But I really want to welcome you here to Florida State University. We're very pleased that you've decided to pursue your graduate studies here at FSU.
So you could call this Florida State University 101. New grad students learn all about Florida State during the graduate school's new student orientation. Yes, even college graduates continuing their education in pursuit of master's and doctoral degrees get the red carpet treatment at Florida State.
Being a graduate student is very different from being an undergraduate, and it's our opportunity to welcome all these students. I'm trying to give them a broad overview of the university, what we are as a university, a research university. And in that regard, graduate students are central to the mission of the university. It's all about research and the research that graduate students do with the faculty. And it's a whole range of programs, 70 doctoral programs, over 100 master's programs.
And aside from meeting new people and learning about services available to graduate students, Dean of Florida State's Graduate School Nancy Marcus says orientation can play an important role in jump-starting a student's career at FSU.
When you're an undergrad, you don't really take advantage of it because you just think it's something that everyone tells you to go to and you just go through the motions. But the older you get, the more you realize that there's some valuable stuff to be had at these orientations, and just getting involved, meeting some groups, meeting some new people. It's just a great way to build a community.
We want to explain to them what a research university is about and why they're so important to that. But then we also want to explain to them all the services and things that we do in the graduate school to try to complement and enhance the experience they get in their programs.
And more than 1,000 grad students attended this year's orientation. Florida State University's College of Medicine recently inducted its newest class of future doctors.
Well, welcome to the class of 2018 White Coat Ceremony. Let's hear it for the class of 2018.
The White Coat Ceremony marks a special rite of passage for 120 first-year medical students at Florida State. These young doctors in training finally get to wear the symbol of the profession after successfully completing their first semester of medical school. This year's ceremony is extra special for some Florida State students who had the honor of being coated by their parents.
Mark Michelucci.
Med School Dean John Fogarty says it's easy to see why this is one of the med school's most popular events.
I've always said that one of the best 3 days of a dean's life is graduation, welcoming a class in white coat. White coat is really a path for the students. They've been hard at work for the past 12 weeks, taking anatomy and learning what it is to be a doctor. And now we're putting on the symbol of the profession, the white coat, for them today. So it's really a wonderful opportunity for us to get together with them, to congratulate them for their hard work this summer, and also make them feel that they are actually joining the profession of medicine.
Just as far as students, we've been looking forward to this. We've worked 3 months really hard. We've been studying all day, every day, taking tests, you know, just all the normal school stuff, and to finally, at the end of our first semester of medical school, to get our white coats, it just means a lot to us, and we really feel like we worked hard for it.
It's a very incredible moment because my family's here. My family came from the Bahamas to be here. So I mean, it's extremely important for me. I'm the oldest. I'm like a first-generation college student. So my dad is here. Everybody's here. And just, you know, they know I'm in med school. They've heard about it for the last 2 months. But them coming here, getting to see this part, is going to be like, wait, it's a reality, you know. She's worked so hard for this, and she's getting something that she deserved. So.
And the FSU College of Medicine was established to produce doctors to serve the medically underserved areas of Florida. Well, based on an increase in coverage on the internet and cable television, it might seem tornadoes are becoming more destructive. But is that really the case? Florida State University researcher James Elsner is digging into the historical data to see if an increase in the number of tornadoes has something to do with climate change. According to the data Elsner is researching, the country is actually seeing fewer days where tornadoes form, down from 187 in 1971 to just 79 in 2013. But the data also shows that when a tornado day does occur, it's much worse than in the past. According to Elsner's research, more tornadoes are forming during a given day and causing more severe damage. But why the change? Elsner is finding a correlation between tornadoes and climate change.
Well, we're looking into that. It appears that with a warmer atmosphere fueled by warmer ocean temperatures, we see more moisture. And this humidity in the lower part of the atmosphere is combining with warmer temperatures above the surface. And that produces kind of a stalemate. And so we see fewer days where tornadoes form, but once they get going, then they can come like there's no tomorrow.
More research is needed to expand on these initial findings, but one thing is for sure, Elsner believes that his work could be beneficial to the public when it comes to preparing for tornadoes.
When the National Weather Service issues a tornado warning, that means that the conditions are favorable for tornadoes to form, and they may come in bunches. So if a tornado is spotted, that may mean there's another one nearby. It's also important for insurance and reinsurance, because folks have to have a way to have the effective risk calculated correctly. And so if we're seeing bunches of tornadoes, this needs to be known by folks in that industry.
Professor Elsner's findings are published in the scientific journal Climate Dynamics. Another natural disaster is making news in Florida. Sinkholes can be a big problem in the state because of the geological makeup of Florida, and that's why FSU researchers are trying to understand them better. A sinkhole is an unpredictable natural disaster that can literally swallow everything above it. But why do they form? And can we predict where the next one will occur? That's what a group of FSU researchers are studying. They've developed a model that simulates a sinkhole. They're studying sinkholes from every angle and gathering all the data to see if there's a way to predict when and where sinkholes will happen in the future.
This is an experiment of showing how sinkholes could form and how it could collapse. The material itself, whether you have clay, you have sand, what kind of sand, what kind of clay, how thick they are, they all play a role. And these things, we measure them as well.
It's really difficult to predict a sinkhole, when and where and how. Yes. This is one way, because we cannot go into the deep aquifer. This is the only way we can see what happens. And so after this, we're going to have a good understanding of what's the controlling factor for the sinkhole develops and collapse. And then our goal is to develop some mathematical numerical model, and so we can make a prediction, and then we can have more useful information for the statewide sinkhole protection.
This research is part of a larger $1 million project funded by the Florida Geological Survey. It's also supported by the Florida State Office of Research. Florida State University is partnering with one of its neighbors to open yet another pipeline to jobs of the future.
This is a wonderful day for the state of Florida.
Florida State is partnering with Florida A&M University for the first project funded by the state of Florida's Targeted Educational Attainment Grant Program. It's called the Florida IT Career Alliance, a collaborative effort to align university and college degrees with the state's future workforce needs in computer and information technology. The program will help establish new courses in elementary, middle, and high schools and continue through college with leaders in the field teaching computer and IT-specific courses.
We are highlighting the fact that Florida's education system is now laser focused on ensuring that our students are equipped to find rewarding jobs upon graduation. The State University is using the best information and labor demand data we have available at DEO to design and fund programs that will provide students with the knowledge and skills employers want today and in the near future. This partnership is incredibly important to DEO because we know that the right education for our students is the most significant factor in ensuring a strong economy in the future.
We are getting a chance to partner with FAMU, which we always value, but we're doing so in an area that's of critical importance to the state of Florida and will just tremendously benefit our students in preparing them for what I think are some of the most important jobs that will be available in the state.
The goal is to increase the number of students who earn bachelor's degrees in the field, and hopefully this new partnership will help do just that. Well, coming up next on FSU Headlines, the Florida State football team kicks off the defense of the national championship.
We'll keep getting better. Happy with some of the young players' development. Got an off week. Hopefully we can get healthy and develop and just keep getting better. And got a chance to have a good football team.
We've got the highlights as the 2014 season kicks off. FSU Headlines continues in a moment. Hello and welcome back to FSU Headlines, coming to you from here in the William Johnston building at Florida State University. I'm Dennis Schnitker. Around here, back to school also means back to football season. The Florida State University football team opened its 2014 campaign on the road in Dallas, and Mark Vaughn joins us now with more. Mark?
Thanks, Dennis. The Florida State football team begins the year ranked #1 and ready to defend their national title from a year ago. This year's team has a lot to overcome with the loss of some of the key talent from the national title team, like receiver Kelvin Benjamin, who went to the NFL in the first round, and defensive back LaMarcus Joyner, also in the NFL now. But with several top recruiting classes wearing the garnet and gold these days, that doesn't look like a problem. The Seminoles started the year in Dallas in a matchup with a very game Oklahoma State team. The Noles used some key offensive moments to pull out the big win and kick off this first season with the college football playoff in the winners column. After that first victory, it was back to Doak Campbell Stadium here in Tallahassee for the first home game of the year in a matchup with the Citadel. Needless to say, Florida State overpowered and outplayed the Citadel to move to 2-0 in the young season, and the expectations are as high as ever this year, especially with the Heisman Trophy winner back under center. But a stretch of ACC games will tell us just how good the Noles can be this year.
But it's not bad. You get to regroup. All right, preseason's over with. You're going into your conference schedule. I think it's it's very good. You get a big time opponent coming in. Clemson is very talented, very well coached. It's one of the premier games in our league every year.
Now we head indoors to the volleyball court and take a look at the Seminoles indoor volleyball team that is primed for big season 2. For the third consecutive season and the fourth time in 5 years, the Noles started the year ranked 13th. The Florida State indoor volleyball team has been selected to win the Atlantic Coast Conference in 2014. In addition to the first place prediction, redshirt senior libero Katie Mosher, junior outside hitter Nicole Walsh, and redshirt sophomore middle blocker Sarah Burrington were named to the 19-player preseason All-ACC team. It was the second nod for Mosher, while Walsh and Burrington captured their first this year. The Noles started the season hot, too, beating top 10 ranked Nebraska on the road and rival Florida in Tully Gym. The Seminoles will be busy for the next 3 months running through a gambit of top programs in hopes of making a long postseason run. And of course, we'll keep you up to date on both the indoor volleyball and football season right here on FSU Headlines. Dennis, back to you.
All right, thanks for that, Mark. In other news, Florida State University wants to be the most veteran-friendly campus in the country, and we want to share our student veteran stories. So, meet U.S. veteran Shamir Ponder.
My name is Shamir Ponder, and I'm a student veteran at Florida State University. When I was a junior in high school, I joined the delayed entry program for the United States Army. I initially did that to get out of class, and I also hoped to get out of the small town of Boston, Georgia, so I decided to join the Army. In the Army, I was stationed at West Fort Hood, Texas. I worked for the Aviation Support Battalion. There, I ordered and received parts and basically did the inventory. But after 9/11, my length of service was extended another 6 months, which meant I wouldn't be able to see my 4-month-old daughter. But fortunately, I was honorably discharged and I was able to return home to my daughter and my family. After the military, I wanted to further my education, and with the benefits I received from the Army, I began looking for a college that was right for me. I wanted to attend a college that was veteran-friendly and had a history of academic excellence. Florida State just seemed like that perfect fit for me. There are just so many resources here at FSU for veterans. There are volunteers and employees specifically designated to work with the veterans. There's also the Collegiate Veteran Association, the veteran success classes, and above all, there's just an overall sense of camaraderie that helps veterans like myself deal with transitional issues like being misunderstood or feeling out of place. It feels good knowing that there are people here motivated about me being successful and reaching my goals. That's why I am proud to say that I am a student veteran here at Florida State University.
You can see Shamir's video and learn more about student veterans at Florida State by visiting veterans.fsu.edu. Florida State University's annual Festival of the Fine and Performing Arts, now known as Opening Nights, is back for another outstanding season. Opening Night's Performing Arts Series is making its return to Florida State University this month with a performance by the guitar duo of Julian Lagg and Chris Eldridge.
She's trapped another fly. I got nothing to do but a few more words to say. I got the
Many acts will make their way to Tallahassee this season, including triple threat entertainer Jasmine Guy and jazz icon Wynton Marsalis.
This season we have more offerings in the fall. Again, with the name change result, we've also expanded the series a bit. So we have about 9 performances in the fall, so I think that's something a little bit different. Some of the great highlights that we have are some new people to Tallahassee. We have the Trox, which is the all-male dance company that's doing a huge tour of Florida. We have men dancing ballet on point. It's a fabulous show. We're really excited about that. We have the author of Orange is the New Black, Piper Kerman. We're getting a lot of buzz in the community right now about bringing Piper here. People are really excited. A lot of people have read her book and obviously watched the TV show, so they're excited to bring her here. And we're doing some premieres in Florida as well. We have Bela Fleck doing his Florida premiere of his banjo concerto, The Imposter. And organist Cameron Carpenter is presenting his Florida premiere of the International Touring Organ, which is a multi-million-dollar digital pipe organ that he developed over a number of years and is touring the world with it.
For more information about performances and tickets, visit openingnights.fsu.edu. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of FSU Headlines, but you can see more news from Florida State University anytime at Florida State 24/7. It's the official news website of Florida State University, and you can find it at news.fsu.edu. On behalf of everyone here at Florida State University, I'm Dennis Schnitker. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.